Outlast Trials is a co-op horror game turned asym. If you don't know what an asym is, just look at games like Friday the 13th or Dead by Daylight. Oh god, Red Barrels, what have you done? I once tried to make a video on this game a couple years back and it didn't go so well. Since then, they have added so much stuff. Things like triple the perks, LGBT representation, Mizkif for some reason.
What's that fucking racket? The fuck are you crying about? You get caught with your hand in the cookie jar? You get fucked sideways to hell!
And the topic of today's video, London Simulator. I just find great joy in stabbing people. It's almost as fun as subscribing to channels when I enjoy their content. You should do that, by the way. The all-new Invasion mode effectively turns Outlast Trials from full-on co-op into 4-on-4 PvP.
Not a man, he's cooked. Just stay over there. Or just, okay, come on,
I body blocked him.
How? How far away? How?
What do you mean, how?
He was right next
How
to
does he
him.
mean what? Yeah, he's going, how? What do you mean, how? You ran at him. What do you mean, how?
I'll let Sergeant Sex explain this for you real quick.
In base game, you play as a reagent, some random homeless person Murkoff picked off the streets to participate in various therapy trials. Here, you have to complete various objectives, such as killing the snitch, getting a vote, teaching orphans, and
Back and forth, and back and forth.
punishing them too. During the trials, you have to avoid various enemies called X-Pop, and a prime asset exclusive to that map. Invasion makes one of these X-Pop playable, the Impostor.
That is me behind you, by the way.
Okay, thank you. I didn't know that there was somebody behind me.
Yeah, we gotta go to the girls' dorm now. Oh. Wait, I was following him!
Anyway, Con, back to you.
Imposter gameplay is extremely unique from being a reagent, where your entire goal is to just kill the reagents, avoiding other enemies along the way. You start off in what I like to call FNAF mode. Just look through cameras and ping enemies you see. Then, after some time passes, you can actually invade the trial. If there are 1 to 2 reagents, only one imposter can be active at the same time. If there are 3 to 4, up to 2 can invade, while everybody else is just on cams. When all objectives are complete, however, all imposters are just unleashed into the trial. Now, usually, asymmetrical games are typically 1v whatever, with one role being the power role for balancing purposes. Outlast Trials is actually pretty unique in this regard, as it's basically 2-on-4, but the power role here is actually supposed to be the reagents. This actually makes it really interesting to balance, as Outlast Trials is still mainly a PvE game, so this essentially means that reagents are supposed to win the trials more often than imposters do, while the aforementioned are supposed to be a minor to medium nuisance to deal with in the trials.
Yes, come on, Franco, get another shot. Yes! Shoot him again, stab him again. How is he not dead? How is he not dead? Okay, stop him. Dude, the fact that it took, you stabbed him, the homeless guy punched him, Franco shot him twice, you stabbed him twice. He actually got squat jumped.
Now, funny enough, the moment I heard about this mode being released, it immediately made me think of a little indie game I used to play way back when called The Blackout Club. Now that I think of it, actually, these two games have really similar gameplay loops and premises, minus the eyes closed mechanic that TBC had. But basically, the Blackout Club had stalkers, a player enemy that was also supposed to be just a minor nuisance. Their only quote-unquote weapons were the items that they could find, and the enemies scattered throughout the map, which they could only utilize by actually recording the kids with their phone. Unfortunately, I don't have any footage of this mode myself because the game's kinda dead. But anyway, Invasion is pretty similar in this regard, as they still have to make use of enemies, but different in how they approach this. For starters, imposters directly fight reagents by just going around and stabbing them. However, imposters cannot use the items scattered throughout the map. This means that the only way imposters can actually heal is by retreating through the insertion gates. The other things taken into account that makes reagents the power role here is the fact that imposters also don't have access to rigs, which are specialized items that grant big advantages during trials, and amps, which most of the time are pretty damn powerful. The sugar on top of that statement, though, is that imposters are the only enemy in the game that can actually take damage from throwables and die. If you do happen to die as an imposter, you have 3 lives to work with individually. Taking damage also gives you a time penalty before the next player's turn to invade, though. Starting at 30 seconds if you reinsert at full health, 70 seconds if you have 1 bar of health, and a full 90 seconds if you just straight up die. Now, as you can see, imposters having the ability to die causes reagents to actively hunt imposters. While many actually do complain about this, it's not actually a bad thing if you really think about it. You can reinsert as many times as you want, but throwables themselves are limited resource. So if you do happen to find yourself getting hunted, this means that reagents likely aren't doing their objective. So play it safe and retreat early if you find yourself getting hunted. With this in mind, you can treat this like something like chess, where it's a game about mind games.
Salami, the law.
Yeah, we're having a
Salami lit the log way. No, you were actually shit out, man. I couldn't fucking think.
Yeah, I told you. That secret tech was just to fucking mentally obliterate the opponent to death, I think.
Albeit, these do have more depth than the other Asym known for that kind of stuff, and considering I almost started throwing out the term mind game around like slop. God, I really hate the overuse of that word. Soul slop, slop tuber, indie slop, that's a new one. Friend slop.
Brother, just call it a fucking party game and move on.
Now, I'm not gonna go around and say this game's gonna be the new DBD killer, as many people like to say whenever a new PvP horror game pops up, because Outlast Trials is very much a unique case in this regard. It's already an established IP, it originated from its own games, and the aim isn't even PvP to begin with. It's quite literally an afterthought. And I honestly think that works, as if you don't want to deal with player imposters, you can simply turn them off. I will say though, for the people that actually play Outlast Trials, you can probably agree that the game has a fair bit of jank that you oftentimes make use of on the reagent side of things. Now, when you make other players able to utilize that jank against another player, it really puts all of that into full display. Though honestly, in the grand scheme of things, I can't say I dislike it. Red Barrels themselves have also been listening to plenty of player feedback, and honestly, I see all of these balance changes and I think, okay, yeah, that's fair. A good example takes place in the reinsertion system. Normally, when you downed a reagent, the insertion timer would start right away. This gave you 15 to 20 seconds to either execute, get another down, retreat, or die trying. This got pretty annoying as an imposter, as you would down somebody, and it would mean absolutely nothing since sometimes you just couldn't execute or do anything else. So Red Barrels changed it. Instead, they made it so that the timer only procs when you yourself directly kill a reagent. This quickly became annoying on the reagent side of things though, as if you got downed, you immediately became a hostage to the imposter, and it got really boring really fast, if I'm gonna be completely honest. So Red Barrels rolled it back and increased the timer 5 seconds for each of these updates, making it now 25 to 30 seconds instead of 15 to 20. Both of these changes are really good examples of me thinking, yeah, that's fair, as it felt more like a case of, this is an issue, so let's test the waters and compromise for both sides. Honestly, trying to cater to both sides is a really hard task, especially for this type of balancing, but I respect the devs for how they're going about it, despite the fact that, honestly, you just can't please everybody. And also, back to what I said, reagents are both the power role and the main way to play Outlast Trials in the first place, so it makes sense that you would want to prioritize them for quality of life changes. As for me, I'm just glad I was able to actually finish this fucking video instead of delaying it in another month because of success. I've always been on and off with Outlast Trials, but this year I've been playing it much more consistently, courtesy of my friends finally giving it a shot. Like, I'm not joking when I say I'm just playing this game with my friends, and then all of a sudden they drop this whole PvP game mode, and honestly, I'd say that's a pretty good surprise. Now, that aside, a few little birdies have given me some video ideas in my comments, and I decided that I need a dartboard to decide which one to do. Best of luck in the trials, I'm out.